All right, guys, here we go. Back out at Moto541 for some moto. Not totally sure. I think we kind of lost around somewhere in there. I know they canceled a weekend racing in July sometime, I think, because of the heat. So, yeah, we ended up adding around somewhere, but I don't think we're going to get the full series. I think we're going to mess around if this was the last race. Or I take that back, if tomorrow was the last race. Yeah, kind of an off weekend for me here. There was kind of I'm just going to get this rant out of the way real quick. A little bit of a mix-up at the sign-up somewhere along the way. I signed up for 40 plus beginner like I always do, and I don't know, there was a computer thing or something that bumped me up to 50 plus, because I am over 50, but I always ride 40 plus because I just feel like that's kind of where I fit in. I never win that class. Out of all the rounds this year, I've only won one race in that class, so I just feel like I fit in there pretty well, and it gives me guys to shoot for, you know. Plus, everybody else in that class typically is over 50, because I think we all kind of do the same thing. We're all kind of looking for the same thing. Just a good competitive class to get into. So I got bumped up to 50 plus, to make a long story short, and it kind of, I found out about it shortly before the moto started and didn't really have time to try to address it, or I was a little irritated about it, honestly. Anyhow, basically the round before, I had tried to sign up for two classes, 40 and 50 plus, and they told me I couldn't. If I was 50, I had to ride the 50 plus class. I said, well, I've been riding the 40 plus class the whole season. Anyhow, this is getting to be way too long of a rant, but nevertheless, I raced 50 plus, not the class I signed up for, but it cost me the points lead and 40 plus, which not really a big deal. There's no money on the line or anything, but I don't know, it's kind of a fun thing to do, to sign up for a series and race the whole thing. And like I said, a little mix up there, and I did talk to them after the races, and there was a chance they could fix it sounded like, but I don't know how positive that was. But needless to say, I chose not to race Sunday because, I don't know, I was kind of bummed about the whole thing, and just didn't have that much fun on Saturday because I was too busy being irritated about not racing in the class that I signed up for. But this is by no means trying to sling mud at the Moto541 crew. They do a great job every weekend, and look, man, they deal with a lot of riders at sign-ups, and it's not a perfect art, so I'm not really upset about it at this point. But yeah, I don't know, I let it bother me more than I should have, probably, to say the least. Not a big deal. I'm over it and moving on. Needless to say, I had a lot of fun on the bike. I felt like I rode fairly well. Still got my butt kicked by the same guys that I always get my butt kicked by. The fortunate thing is, even riding 50 plus, I still got to go at the same gate drop as everybody else that I race against. So still not beating any of those guys. Practice, I didn't practice on Friday. I had to work, and just elected to not take the day off to go to practice. So just came out Saturday for morning practice and motos. Of course, if you can hear that brand new FMF muffler I've got on this thing, bike sounds great. Pretty stoked about that. Bike ran great for the most part, as it should, being, it's only got 18 hours on it or so. It was warm today, not horrible. Luckily the sun, it's a little bit overcast, or maybe it was smoke covering the sun a little bit, so we weren't getting direct sunlight all the time. But it got up into the mid-90s, I think. So it was definitely warm. But the track was good. I think, I don't know, those early rounds, they kind of turned it into a kind of a mud bog and really overwatered it, in most people's opinions, not just mine. But I feel like these last couple of rounds have been really good as far as track prep there. It's not ripped quite as deep, and I don't mind getting into some ruts or whatnot, but for me, traction here is really iffy. I'm having a hard time finding traction at this track, so that's why I keep it really safe. It's like, yeah, I've jumped this tabletop in practice a time or two this season, but I haven't hit that jump at all in the races. I just don't feel, I'm not feeling it, so I don't do it. And the guys that are beating me typically aren't doing it either, so it's not like I'm getting beat because they're doing big jumps or any of that stuff. They're just faster everywhere else, corner speed, you know, things like that. So I have a lot of stuff to work on besides just the jumping part of it. So we are at the end of the season this year, like I mentioned before. Not really sure of what's next on the schedule for me. I'm sure there will be some one-off races, some fun stuff to do. This was the only series I signed up for this year. The off-road season it just didn't work out for me, and hopefully that turns around next year. We get some, I don't know, figure something out with the OMRA stuff. I really like the GP format, and they didn't have a whole lot that appealed to me. They doubled up with AMA West again this year, which just turns all the races into, you know, 3-hour races, and that's a long time to race dirt bikes, and I wasn't really interested in that. It's not just a fitness thing. For some reason, it just takes me a long time to recover from that long of a race. And yeah, I get it, survival of the fittest and all that, and I'm just kind of finding out that I'm not very good at that long of an event. So I'd like to see the hour-and-a-half races come back, either Mag 7 or OMRA comes back, and every other race isn't an AMA West race. That'd be cool, but you know, I understand why they do that. Kind of kill two birds with one stone, I guess. Cheaper, all that stuff. So I can see why they're doing that. AMA West, like I said, the race format just, I don't know, it's kind of too hard on me at this point in my life. I don't see me, other than maybe the local one here, I don't see me trying to do that series. And I'm really not in woods riding shape at all anymore. It's been so long since I've done it. I told my buddy I don't even know where the woods are anymore. I haven't done any woods riding in quite a while. So, I mean, I did hit Prospect one time this year, and that was it. So, really been enjoying riding moto, especially this track is pretty close to home. So, yeah, it's fun to go out there and rip out here. I think they've done a great job with this track over the, you know, from when it first started, for sure. You know, doing the best you can with the dirt. It's got a lot of wood chips in it, and that makes it, I don't know, it's almost sandy-ish, other than there's still big wood chips in it. But as far as traction, I feel like, you know, it looks like it has ruts, and it looks like it has berms, but most of that stuff isn't significant. I don't know, kind of hard to explain. After riding Washougal the other weekend where I had so much traction, I couldn't believe how much traction I had. I could barely break the rear end loose, and out here it's like you're just kind of skating around on top of everything. And it's just a different type of riding. But we're all riding the same dirt, so I'm not complaining about it. I'm just still trying to figure it out. And I'm probably not the only one trying to figure it out. And this stuff is really slippery when it's wet. It's something else. But yeah, still way better than what it was back in the original days when this track was just full of rocks. There's still some rocks out here, so don't kid yourself to think it's all just wood chips and loam. There's still some rocks that'll get turned up. but it's really pretty good, a lot better than it used to be. You get some nice braking bumps and accelerating bumps. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I like the kind of split lanes they've done the last couple of rounds, and I think that's brilliant. I don't know if everybody likes it, but I do. I like that they've kind of added a little bit of a berm back in that last section as well. There's more to bank off of. This track typically doesn't really have any berms at all. It's just kind of whatever ruts you build up into it. Anyhow, here we go. Gate drop, Moto1. I'm just horrible out of the gate anymore. It's like I'll get a decent jump and then I just start dropping positions. I'm just not aggressive enough early enough. You know, I'm back here in maybe 7th spot right now, 8th now. And yeah, I'm not aggressive at all. I just don't. It's funny. I just don't really want to rub plastic with guys anymore. It's not the way I ride it. Just one more thing I got to work on. So by the time I make my way through a few people, you know, the top 5 are gone, 4 or 5 are gone. So a big shout out to Crystal Watson here. She's I think this is the first time I've gotten to race with her, and she's good. You know, and I know that, but yeah, it's kind of fun getting to share some track time with her. Her husband, of course, is our local pro and incredibly fast. But their whole family races. They come out here and just love riding dirt bikes, just like the rest of us. This is your 50+ points leader right here, and he absolutely killed it this year. He was fast all year. He gets great starts on that Yami 2-stroke, and yeah, he had a good season this year. Both those guys that are running 50+ that made most of the rounds, both just rode really well. Fortunately today I seem to have a little more pace than those guys. Yeah, just trying to have fun riding my dirt bike right now. Totally missed this tabletop. I kind of lost my train of thought as to where I was at on the track for a minute. Like I said, my mind was all over the place today. Yeah, I just didn't have a lot of fun today. But some days are like that, just thinking about other stuff. So one good thing about being on your dirt bike is there's not a lot of room for thinking about other stuff. So. Oh, that FMF goodness sounds so good. I gotta get better through here. I just feel like I'm losing speed through here. Losing time, I mean. I'm just not going fast enough through that long back straight. It's like I feel sketchy. I feel like the faster I push through there, the less the bike turns. And I don't know. I was even trying to sit down through there a little bit to see if I could carry more speed. Miss the braking bumps and sit down and twist the throttle more, and I don't think it helped me at all. But man, if you got too much weight over that front wheel going around that slight little bend through the braking bumps and all that, yeah, it got kind of sketchy for me. You'd lose traction for sure. But I was watching the fast guys do it, and they were, half of them were sitting down through it and half of them were standing up. So I don't know. I don't know what the fastest way to do it was, but definitely not the way I'm doing it. That rut wrong, man. It was pretty. It can be kind of sketchy. The way the suspension unloads through there, it throws you back the other way. It's kind of hard to explain, but anyhow, that's gonna put a wrap on Moto number 1. Yeah, see, it's like I'm top 4 going into the first turn. You quickly start getting dropped. I gotta figure that out. I'm just not good in the first opening lap. And I get a little bike bog right there. I'm not really sure what was going on there. If the rear brake got stuck on or what, but I don't know. It cost me a couple more positions, but it's all good. I'm still on 2 wheels. That's all I care about. Man, guys are riding good today. 741 out there, killing it. Crystal Watson not gonna let me make the same move I did on the last one. That's for sure. Riding good. Kind of ended up in the soft stuff over that little jump there. Just about wadded it up. Fun getting to mix it up with some people a little bit. That first lap or two. And then, yeah, I just kind of end up riding around by myself. Just got to figure out where I'm losing all this time at. Good little battle here. Good times, man. Love racing dirt bikes. But anyhow, that's pretty much a wrap for the Moto season for me this year. Like I said, not really sure what's up next. Definitely going to get back in the woods, especially if we get some rain back down here in the valley. filled full of smoke again today from all the fires around us, so definitely ready for some rain. Some cooler temps. Get back in the woods. Gonna keep riding some moto. I know there's some winter series coming up, and yeah, keep practicing. Yeah, we'll see where we go from here, but we'll be riding something, 2 wheels somewhere. Dirt bikes, mountain bikes, whatever. So, if you watched this, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, I'm out.